everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk to you guys about the books that I am currently reading, my progress so far in January and February, and what my goals are for 2024 and my reading, because I don't know if I've actually mentioned it to you guys yet, but I feel like it's time to bring you guys into this and share my love of reading with you guys. If I have not already, I have been an avid reader since I was a little child, and I may have had some big breaks here and there. I have fallen back into love with reading, and I have a big goal for 2024, and that is to complete 52 books. So that's like a book a week. I am already behind, but I can easily pick it up. So I guess I should just start mentioning that I'm doing like a few different challenges along the way. So I'm reading, or I'm part of the book club, the group, whatever you want to call it, on Goodreads. It's called Everyone Has Read This But Me, the Catch Up Book Club. So they basically aim to read 3 books a month. It basically is a book club that covers current fiction, classic fiction, and then a catch up within the group of a book that they've read before that's not been within the last year. That is also included. So each month I'm doing like a bingo challenge, and I'm also doing like a quarterly challenge based on prompts for each quarter. And then alongside that, I decided actually like over a year ago when I started listening to Desert Island Discs that once I reached to July 1991, which is when I was born, I read every book that is mentioned. There are some like asterisks, some rules around that. Mainly that I don't read poems, I'm not a poem person. There's also a lot of entries that they repeat the same book. I'm not going to repeat and reread the same book again. There's also like some books don't exist, as they are like their personal diaries or handwritten books that just don't exist, so I can't read them. And then alongside that, I just like to read for fun, so I do just pick up books that I want to read and have them splash into my to-read list. So my to-read list is like 220 books long. There's a lot of books that I want to read. I went through like a whole thing last year wanting to read all the classic books everyone's read that I haven't, and that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm going through them, and yeah, it's going to be a challenge and a task, but that's what we're going to go for. So that being said, let's go into what I've been reading in January. I have like a whole Goodreads profile which I obsess over. So the first book I read, technically I started it in 2023. It was The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which is a book my family have owned and I read as a child, so I kind of knew it, or not as a child but as a teenager, because I don't think it was released when I was a child. I think it was released in 2004, so when I was, a teenager, because I was 13 in 2004. Anyway, I read that one. I actually completely forgot what the book was about. I don't even know if I even remember reading it before, but it was a good book. I enjoyed reading it. It's about this boy who, I think he has autism or some sort of, I want to say disability. I don't know if that's the correct word, but he, or is it Asperger's? Oh, I can't remember now. It's been over a month. And he basically wants to uncover who has killed his neighbour's dog. So he kind of does like a little murder mystery thing. And he also finds out some interesting tea about his own family along the way. And yeah, it's kind of sad really. But quite good, but also quite weird. Also, if I had never read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that book would have spoiled it, because he mentions the plot inside that book, which is wild to me. But anyway, there we go. I finished that on the 2nd of January. Then on the 7th of January, I finished the Book of Lost Names, which follows this girl who is Jewish and is based in World War II era. And she's trying to help all of these kids escape the country, and the Book of Lost Names is a book that is coded with names of the real kids' names versus their false names basically. And it's actually really kind of sad, and the writing wasn't that great, I would say. It was very repetitive, and there was a lot of like, why did this happen? What on earth are you doing? Please stop. And like the idea that she went the whole 50 years or something thinking that the love of her life was dead, to only find out that he is still alive. I just did this plot spoiler, but I don't know, the ending just was not it. It just kind of ruined it for me. I just don't know how they could not have figured out that they are still alive. I don't know, it just baffled me. Anyway, yeah, it's a good book though. I mean, I think I gave it 4 stars, so we move on with that. Then I read on the 10th of January, I finished Charlotte's Web, which, you know, it's one of those books that I feel like I probably should have read in my lifetime, and I don't remember ever reading it, so I've now read it. It was quite unique how it was written, it was kind of cute. I've definitely seen the film, so I knew what the plot was, and yeah, it was a good little book though. That is as far as I've got into this year of books that I've actually finished. So let's go on to the book that I'm currently reading, shall we? Okay, so one of the books that I'm reading is The Way We Live Now by Anthony Trollope, which is like, I don't know, 800, 900 pages long. It's super long and very tedious, and it's got 100 chapters in it, and it's all about life in the 18th century, and there's like scandals and like love affairs and just, I don't know, it's a task. I think I'm only 14% into the book at this point at time, and I started reading it like early on in January, so it's taking its time. It's definitely a long read, and I think I've kind of like given up trying to read it all in one time. Now we're just reading like a chapter between reading other books here and there, or reading a chapter when I'm bored of another book. I've just been doing that currently. Yeah, pretty bad. Then the other book that I'm currently reading is The 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And this is a book that is wild. I actually found out my mum's read this. But this book, it is kind of like a magical fantasy realism. I don't know what you'll call it, but it has magic in it. There's also kind of like just really effed up, I'd say. It covers like incest. It covers several generations of the same family but the same name, and the timeline, you're never too sure which one you're following. It always takes me like a couple of pages to kind of figure out, oh, this is the Ariano that we're following this time around. Oh, it's this generation. Oh, we stepped back into this time. Oh, we stepped forward to this time. Like, it's all very, very muddled, and it's crazy, and every single page something happens. And it's definitely not for everyone. It's definitely also a heavier read. It's very descriptive. I'm someone who likes to have like, you know, a good balance between descriptive paragraph and then like speech, but this book is very based on descriptiveness rather than the speech and the narrative, and that's where it loses me a lot, because I just can't keep that in my brain for that long. Anyway, this is also taking me a really long time to read. So it's been over a month for this one too. This one I'm at 57%, so at least I'm kind of like getting towards the end of the book now. I've got past the 50%. I've got halfway through, which is amazing. And because those 2 books are so long and tiresome for my brain, I have decided to now read a 3rd book. And that book I'm currently reading is a short book, but an easier book for me. And that is The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which is a Hercule Poirot book by Agatha Christie. Of course, you can hear my cat in the background probably. She is having some fun in a litter box. I apologise. This is obviously a murder mystery based around this guy dying. That's pretty much, I think, all you need to know about Agatha Christie is that she does murder mysteries, especially when it's Poirot. And I love reading Poirot books. They're really easy to read. They don't take me very long. They take me like 2 or 3 days, and easy said and done. So that's what I'm currently reading. Going forward, my plan, my February plans for reading are not working out. I had planned 4 books to read in February. And what date are we on? I think you're going to see this on the 16th. We are not doing well, guys. We are... Oh gosh. So, yeah. I don't think I'm going to I don't think I'm even going to get through any of those books. Ideally, I'd like to finish 100 Years of Solitude. But I just don't know if I have the ability to do so or not. But no, the other books I had planned to read this month are Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang, The Talented Mr. Ripley by Patricia Highsmith, Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery, and In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. But I don't think I'm going to get through them. I mainly read my books on my Kindle. This is like an OG Kindle. I think it's probably like 10 years old now, but the battery still works superbly. It lasts me like a month without charging, so it does its job. Really simple to read. It's one of those ones where you can read it in the night time because it does have a built-in light in the background, but also it's that screen where it looks like it's like part of the screen, and so you can use it in direct broad sunlight. Yeah, I absolutely love my Kindle. So I do all of my reading on my Kindle, apart from any books that I borrow from my parents' home, or books that I own myself, or books that I get gifted. I pretty much live on my Kindle, and I have like limited space for books in my flat. You've seen that before. I have my Harry Potter books on one shelf, and then I have a couple of books in my bookshelf that I made in January. But I don't have very many books, so yes, I pretty much go under. So the rule that I go under is pretty much, if I am borrowing books from parents, I'll just borrow them for a short amount of time and then give them back. But then if it's a book that I have read on my Kindle, that I have reread a couple of times, 3 or 4 times, I'm going to buy the book and have it on my bookshelf, because that's when I know that it's worth the price to buy a book. I've got some examples of some actual books I own. I'm not crazy, guys. I do own some books. These aren't all mine. I'll show you guys that. So these are books that I am borrowing from my parents. So we've got The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and we've got 1984 by George Orwell. And then the books that I own that are mine, I finally got in and got Red, White, Royal and Blue. I finally gave in and got Red, White and Royal Blue. Alright, my battery died But I just wanted to wrap this video up and say thanks for watching. I'm probably gonna do like maybe a quarterly update on what I'm reading and my progress throughout the year. And my aim is obviously to reach 52 books, and I'm gonna bring you guys along with me for that. And yeah, I'll let you guys know if I read any books that just blow me away. I haven't read a 5-star book yet this year, so here's hoping I do in the future. Alright. Oh, it's on the screen, it's not me. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, that's a weird wave. Bye guys.